Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Speak Power Daily. I am so incredibly happy to have you here with me today. Pull up a chair, or if you're out for a walk or stuck in traffic, just take a deep breath and settle in. How are you feeling? I hope your day is off to a wonderful start, but even if it's been a bit of a Monday morning kind of day, no matter what day it actually is, I'm glad we're spending this time together. Today, we are diving into something that sounds a bit serious, maybe even a little scary, but it's actually the kindest thing you can do for yourself. We're talking about discipline. Now, I know what you're thinking. When you hear the word discipline, do you imagine a strict teacher pointing a ruler at you? Or maybe a drill sergeant shouting orders? I used to think of it like a cold shower, something that's probably good for me, but something I definitely wanted to avoid. But here's a little secret I've learned. Discipline isn't about being mean to yourself. It's not about punishment. In fact, it's the opposite. Discipline is simply choosing between what you want now and what you want most. It's like being a good parent to yourself. It's that little voice that says, I know you want to watch one more episode of that Netflix show, but if you sleep now, you're going to feel like a superhero tomorrow morning. Think about your English journey for a second. We've all had those days where the grammar feels like a giant bowl of tangled spaghetti, and we just want to close the book and go find some chocolate. That's totally normal. But the difference between feeling stuck and feeling powerful in a new language usually comes down to that one word, discipline. It's the bridge between having a dream and actually living it. And the best part? Discipline is a muscle. You aren't just born with a discipline gene that some people have and others don't. You build it, one tiny choice at a time. It's not about changing your whole life in 24 hours. It's about making things just 1% easier for your future self. Over the next few minutes, I want to share some very simple, very human ways to invite more discipline into your life without feeling like you're joining a boot camp. We're going to make it feel natural, doable, and maybe even a little bit fun. So, how do we actually start building this discipline muscle without feeling overwhelmed? The first thing we need to do is stop trying to climb Mount Everest in our flip-flops. Often, we fail at being disciplined because we set goals that are just too big and scary. We tell ourselves, starting tomorrow, I will study English for 3 hours, go to the gym, and never eat sugar again. And then, by lunch, we're tired, hungry, and frustrated. The first real secret to discipline is starting so small that it feels almost silly to say no. I like to call this the 5-minute rule. If there is something you know you should do, like practicing your phrasal verbs or cleaning your desk, tell yourself you will only do it for 5 minutes. Just 5. Anyone can do 5 minutes, right? It's the length of 2 songs on the radio. What usually happens is that the hardest part of discipline is simply starting. Once you've opened the book or put on your running shoes, the resistance in your brain starts to melt away. Discipline isn't about the 3 hours of work. It's about the 10 seconds it takes to start. If you can win those first 10 seconds, you've already won the day. Another way to make this easy is something I call habit stacking. This is when you take a habit you already have, like drinking your morning coffee, and you stack a new, disciplined habit on top of it. For example, while I wait for my coffee to brew, I will listen to one short English news clip. You don't need to find extra time in your day. You just attach the new behavior to something you're already doing. Think of it like building a house. You don't just drop a roof onto the ground and call it a home. You lay one brick, then another, then another. If you lay one brick every single day, eventually you have a wall, then a room, then a mansion. In your English learning, one new word a day might not feel like much today, but in a year, that's 365 moments of discipline. That's a lot of bricks. We need to forgive ourselves for not being perfect and instead focus on being consistent. Being good enough every day is much better than being perfect once a month. Now, let's talk about a little trick that I use all the time. I call it engineering your environment. You see, many people think discipline is about having a will of iron, like a superhero who never gets tempted. But honestly, most disciplined people are actually just really good at hiding their temptations. If I have a giant bag of cookies sitting right next to my computer while I work, I'm going to need a lot of willpower to not eat them. But if those cookies are tucked away in a high cupboard in the kitchen, I don't even think about them. We can do the same thing with our English practice. If you want to be more disciplined with your reading, put your English book right on your pillow in the morning. When you go to bed at night, it's already there, waiting for you. You don't have to go look for it. On the flip side, if your phone is a huge distraction, put it in another room for 30 minutes. Make the good things easy to do, and the distractions hard to reach. It's like clearing the rocks off a path before you start running. You're just making it harder to trip. But let's be real for a second. Life isn't always smooth. There will be days when you're tired, the weather is gray, and your brain feels like a slow, old computer. In those moments, I want you to remember a very important phrase. Choose your hard. Life is hard in different ways. It's hard to spend 20 minutes studying grammar when you'd rather nap. That's true. But you know what else is hard? It's hard to be in a conversation and feel like you can't express your beautiful ideas because you didn't practice. It's hard to miss out on a job opportunity because your English level isn't quite where you want it to be. Both paths have challenges, but one path leads to growth, and the other keeps you exactly where you are. When we look at it that way, discipline becomes a tool for freedom. It's the price we pay to get to the version of ourselves we've always dreamed of being. It's about being kind to your future self. Think about the you of next month. Wouldn't they be so grateful if you started today? It's like leaving a little gift for yourself to find later. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. You do not need to wake up at 5 in the morning, study for 3 hours, and never feel tired again. Real discipline is quiet. It is built through small, almost invisible decisions. 5 minutes of reading today. 1 short podcast tomorrow. A single page of vocabulary. These tiny actions might feel insignificant in the moment, but over time, they stack up like bricks, slowly building a strong foundation. Think of discipline less as punishment and more as self-respect. Every time you choose to practice, even when you do not feel motivated, you are sending yourself a powerful message. I care about my future. And that message matters. Motivation comes and goes, but systems stay. That is why engineering your environment works so well. You are not forcing yourself to be strong all the time. You are simply setting things up so that the right choice becomes the easiest choice. Let me give you a simple challenge, just one. Tonight, before you go to sleep, prepare something for tomorrow's English practice. It could be your notebook, a book, or even a reminder on your desk. Do not study yet. Just prepare the space. That small action is already a win. Tomorrow, when you see it, your brain will think, well, I might as well start. And that is how discipline begins, not with pressure, but with gentle momentum. So remember this: you are not lazy, broken, or incapable. You are human, and humans thrive when their environment supports them. Choose your hard wisely. Choose growth. Choose the small actions that your future self will thank you for. Step by step, day by day, you are becoming someone stronger, clearer, and more confident than yesterday. Now, I want to talk about a little trick that helps me when I'm feeling particularly lazy. I call it the not yet strategy. Sometimes, when we try to be disciplined, our brain starts to rebel. It screams, "I don't want to do this. I want to check Instagram. I want to relax." Instead of fighting that feeling with a big no, try saying, "Not yet." Tell yourself, "I can check my phone, but not yet. I'll do 10 minutes of English listening first, and then I'll look at my notifications." It's a gentle way of negotiating with your inner toddler. You aren't saying you can never have fun again. You're just teaching yourself that the work comes before the reward. It's like eating your vegetables before you get the dessert. And let's be honest, the dessert always tastes better when you feel like you've earned it. Another fantastic way to stay on track is to stop being a lone wolf. We often think discipline is a solo journey, like a lonely runner on a long road. But it doesn't have to be. Sharing your goals with someone else can be a total game changer. When you tell a friend, "I'm going to practice my English speaking every Tuesday," suddenly, you aren't just letting yourself down if you skip. You have someone else cheering you on, or gently asking how it went. You could even find a study buddy or join a community of learners. When you see others showing up and putting in the effort, it's contagious. It's like when you see someone yawning and you suddenly feel the urge to yawn too. Except with discipline, it's much more productive. When you surround yourself with people who are also trying to grow, your normal changes. Suddenly, being disciplined doesn't feel like a chore. It feels like part of the culture you belong to. And remember, humor is your best friend here. If you mess up, and you will because we're all human, don't beat yourself up. If you planned to study but ended up watching cat videos for an hour, just laugh it off and say, "Okay, that was a long break. Let's get back to it." Being too strict with yourself is the fastest way to quit. A little bit of laughter makes the road to discipline much smoother. As we come to the end of our time together today, I want to share one final beautiful thought with you. We've talked about the 5-minute rule, making your environment work for you, and choosing your hard. But the most powerful engine for discipline isn't a trick or a tip. It's your why. Why did you start learning English in the first place? Was it to travel the world and talk to people from every corner of the globe? Was it to get that promotion, or to finally understand your favorite movies without the subtitles? Whatever that reason is, hold on to it tightly. When discipline feels heavy, your why is the light that shows you the way. Discipline is just the fuel, but your dreams are the destination. I want you to imagine yourself a year from now. Imagine you've stuck with these small 5-minute wins. Imagine you've been consistent, even on the days you didn't feel like it. Can you see that person? They speak with more confidence. They navigate the world with more ease. They are proud of themselves. That person is waiting for you, and the only way to meet them is to keep moving forward today. And please, don't forget to celebrate. We are often so busy looking at the mountain we still have to climb that we forget to look back at how far we've already come. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, Give yourself a metaphorical high five. You are doing something difficult, and you are doing it beautifully. Discipline isn't a cage that locks you in. It's the key that lets you out. It's the tool that transforms "I wish I could" into "I'm glad I did." You have so much power inside you, and by choosing to be just a little bit more disciplined today than you were yesterday, you are stepping into your strongest self. Thank you so much for listening to Speak Power Daily. It's been an absolute joy sharing these tips with you. Go out there, be kind to yourself, lay one more brick in your wall, and remember, you've got this. I'll be right here cheering you on every step of the way. Until next time, keep speaking, keep growing, and keep being amazing.